Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa. I am an emergency medicine doctor currently working in the United Kingdom, and I'm here to share my journey with you guys with the hope that we can learn and grow together. So today I wanted to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about, and that's leadership in medicine. And because I do emergency medicine, I have to tailor it down to emergency medicine. So I recently attended the KSS Leadership Day. It's called the EM Leaders Day. It was absolutely phenomenal. As you recall, I am on a year out. So anything I attend is based on my personal interest. I'm not doing it for portfolio work because I have to do it. I'm doing it because I want to grow, I want to learn, and I just want to be a better physician. So that was my reason for deciding to attend that day. And I learned so many valuable pieces from it. I took away so much that I'm truly grateful for the day. And if you get the chance to go on one of these days, highly recommend. I can only speak about the KSS EM Leaders Day because that's the one I attended. There's another day that's going to be in October. Highly recommend that, either if you do it for just for your portfolio or if leadership is something that you're interested in, please attend it. I promise you won't be disappointed. So I just wanted to go over a few things that I learned on that day and some of the notes I took. And some of the presenters were actually consultants I work with. So it was like really nice to hear from them. And yeah, I just had a really phenomenal day. So the first thing I learned from this is actually a consultant I work with who I truly admire. Her name is Dr. Blanco. She did a lecture on leveling up, and she was just telling us with regards to what are the expectations as you go from being a registrar to a consultant, the jump you make. And it's with regards to you go from making the complaint to solving the complaint. So you do a lot of problem solving. We're no longer whining in the background about why the system is broken. We see the broken system and then we're there to try and fix it and make it better. And she talked about the importance of leading by example. This is something that I thoroughly believe in. I believe in, to be an effective leader, you need to first show, and then people are going to emulate. You can't demand of people what you're not willing to do yourself, or standards that you yourself have not met. So I think it's very important to lead by example. She spoke about recognizing the team's strength and playing on people's strength. If someone is strong in a certain area, someone works better with elderly patients, someone is able to identify acuity better or high acuity patients, someone is better at, let's say, ENT, epistaxis, those sort of things, then you're going to want to usher them into that area. So you recognize the strength. At the same time, it's also very important to recognize your team's weakness, because only through recognizing weakness that you could then develop your team. I think often in emergency medicine, because it's such a busy department, it's often challenging to develop the team, and often we put people where we know they are strong instead of allowing them to have more time in areas where they need to work. And I think it's for us to recognize as we become consultants and as we take the lead that one day these are going to be registrars, these are going to be your future leaders. So if you don't develop them just because of your need of a well-functioning, properly flowing department, then what you're impacting negatively is the future of emergency medicine and future care of patients. So as we look to our team, yes, you want to get things done, and yes, you want to get it done the most efficiently, but yes, also a core of medicine has always been our ability to teach, educate, and to make better. And I think that's currently a challenge that we face in our specialty in particular. I remember when I did my ACCS, I absolutely loved my anesthetic portion, mainly because it was one of the few times I felt like I was being taught. Like they actually took time to try to teach me, okay, so this is what it is. Every time I went in, I had a consultant who taught me, and I get that it's a different setting, but nonetheless this is our specialty, so we need to find ways in which we develop people in that specialty despite all of the challenges. I mean, this is emergency medicine, so the excuse that yeah, it's too different, one, you sat with a consultant all day, I don't think that's good enough. I think we owe a challenge to us, future leaders and current leaders in emergency medicine, to recognize the demand, and then how do we overcome it as a specialty and make doctors better. Because when people are learning and growing, I can assure you they find their work a lot more fulfilling rather than when you just have them fulfill a service. And then she spoke about learning to say no. So this is something I know I already struggle with, where it's like, I don't know, I just can't say no. Like I find the need to do as much as possible, like I'm always trying to prove myself. And I think what it has gotten me in training the last few years, I've just felt really burnt out. I've been struggling to keep my passion for medicine. And I think it's just because I'm so burnt out, I'm so overwhelmed. I had so many projects going on, and this year I've taken a step back. I try to do projects one at a time. I try not to take on more than I can chew. And an advice is, for those of you who are starting, do what is necessary. After you've ticked your boxes of what is necessary, then you can do anything supplemental and you can add on from there. But don't go wild. Yes, there's some areas we love more than others, and yes, there's areas you want to develop, but do what's necessary, especially when you're looking at a portfolio. It will make your life so much easier when it comes to moving on the next year and getting an outcome one, instead of having to put in for the work, be stressed out with regards to meeting tick boxes. Do what is necessary, and after you've done what is necessary, then you can always add on. And then something she said that I don't have an answer to, and I'm gonna say it, and then I want you guys to take a few seconds to think about it. Okay, so she said, what makes you different? So I'll give you time to think about it. What makes you different? So if you don't have an answer, that's okay. Think about it. That's something that I'm still trying to figure out. What do you bring to the team? What makes you, what can you learn from the department? When I think about medicine, I think something I bring, which I don't know if it's because it's a very male-oriented field, I don't always see a lot of it, is my compassion. I am a very compassionate person, not only to patients. I think we're good with compassion to patients. I think we're less good with compassion to our fellow colleagues and doctors and to our juniors. And that's something that I always try to be compassionate. I try to be understanding. I try to be kind. And anytime I'm not those things, I try to go back and apologize. Like, I remember there was one night I was working and I was so frustrated because there was a patient that we were having difficulty. No team wanted to take the patient, so it was like a lot of back and forth with which team is the best team for this patient. And so I had multiple, I wasn't speaking with the team directly, I was running the shop floor, meaning I was the doctor in charge of the department. So the junior was coming and telling me about all the back and forth and all the discussions she was having. And I remember, like, in our conversation, one of my responses came across a bit snappy. And you know, in the moment I didn't catch myself, I didn't stop myself. It's not something I'm proud of. Sometimes I do get a bit snappy, less times than normal. I try to maintain a very, I'd say, lighthearted, because I think it's important as the ones running the shop floor that we set the mood of the department. If we're stressed, then everyone becomes stressed and the flow is worse. Versus if you have a more pleasant demeanor, people work better, yes, it's a pressured environment. It's always going to be a pressured environment. Like, at the end of the day, you know, it's emergency medicine. Why are we so surprised that it's a stressful environment? It's what we signed up for. So I think since it is a stressful environment is not good enough as an excuse as to why you exhibited certain behavior. I think it's for us to then recognize, yes, it'll always be a stressful environment, and yeah, how to make it better from there. Anyways, so the following night, because it's the same team we're on, I went back and I apologized there. I said, you know, listen, last night I got a bit snappy in my response. It wasn't directed towards you. I'm sorry. I was frustrated with the scenarios, not with you. And I think that's important, you know, saying that you're sorry. Because at the end of the day, something we also forget, they might be junior doctors, but these are also adults. And you shouldn't be snappy with anyone. You know, they're trying to do their job. Everyone is trying their best. So I think that's really important as we look towards becoming leaders in emergency medicine. This video might be getting really long, so I might actually go ahead and break this up into parts. So in the next part, I'll go over a little bit more of what I've learned on my EM leadership day. Yeah, so what is your how do you currently feel with regards to becoming a leader in medicine, and what tactics do you use? And the most important question is, what do you bring to the department? What do you think that you bring to your department that sets you apart from everyone else? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and join me on part 2 as I continue to share more about what I learned on the Phenomenal EM Leaders course. Alright, that's it for me. Bye!